There is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world, and that's why I am on the trail of the Nephilim. The Genesis 6 narrative states that the Nephilim are on the earth in those days and also afterwards. If that's true, can we find evidence that corroborates this? I'm L.A. Marzulli. Join me as we go on the trail of the Nephilim. Okay, folks, very special. This is from the Best of Watchers. If you want to download the DVD, go to streaming.lamarzulli.net. If you want to buy the DVD, and you probably will after you watch this very special presentation on the implant removal. We are the only Christian team that actually did this. We'll get into that and so much more after a word from our sponsor, BioTrust. Hey, folks, listen to this. Studies show our mental health changes based on how many or how few wrinkles we have. Anti-aging companies prey on that. But many of their products don't work because they fail to target the root concerns that contribute to wrinkles. The true way to attack wrinkle concern is by going underneath the surface of the skin in ways that promote youthfulness. This is why I highly recommend taking multi-collagen. This amazing product helps restore your skin's youthfulness by getting to the root of the problem that causes wrinkles. It works because it's a health supplement, not an anti-aging serum. Your skin will look better than it has in years if you start taking multi-collagen. If you've been looking for a great way to improve your skin's health and youthfulness, you'll love the wonderful effects of taking collagen. Get up to 51% off for the next 24 hours only by going to healthwithla.com. That's www.healthwithla.com, or by visiting the link down below. Folks, this stuff really works. We just thank these guys for BioTrust for sponsoring us, and when you buy their products, you help keep us doing what we do here. So check it out, folks. Once again, www.healthwithla.com. So we're showing once again the removal of this implant. Now, Bill was a 5-year-old boy when he was abducted, and they took this thing out of him, which is, that in itself is incredibly alarming. What we have to understand, that I truly believe this is the mark of the beast. When they show up, they will give us two things. They will give us the energy, free energy, that pilots the craft. That will change and revolutionize the entire planet. But they'll also say this, that they, so-called ET, which in my opinion is not ET, these are fallen angels. Okay? They will say that they created all life on this earth, that they genetically manipulated early man, that they started the world's civilizations, that they created the world's religions, and now at this critical juncture in human history, they are back to usher mankind into a golden age. We'll start with one of the strangest experiences, the documenting of an alien implant, the man who lived with it, and its removal. It was Dr. Roger Leir's last time on camera and his last alien implant removal surgery. What happened defied logic and the laws of physics as we know them.
A man contacted Watchers with the belief that he has an implant. LA is bringing him to Dr. Roger Leir's offices for x-rays and tests.
So we'll get your pictures today, and I'll take the old one that I got, and I'll take that to a radiologist. So that's the next step. And then have him, take a look and confirm that what we're seeing is there. And then he'll give me some estimate as to where it is, how close it is to the bone, approximate size. But we'll eventually wind up doing a CAT scan.
we take one anterior posterior, one of a medial oblique, like this, and then one lateral. We'll actually have you come across so that it's closest to the film. All right. I'm gonna center that up. Get your leg as close to that as possible. So it's right in here. Okay, so all I want you to do is just stand still. All right, 3, 2, 1. Good. 1.
You have an object in your leg, at least appears so far that there's something in your leg. Tell us the backstory here. Where does this thing come from? Where do you remember seeing it or feeling it, I should say?
Well, nobody really knows where it came from. I was having severe knee problems one time, and I had it x-rayed. And the doctors
How far
found out-
back is that go?
That's about 2005.
Okay.
And out of the blue, my leg started really hurting bad. Felt like a railroad spike being driven through my knee and my leg.
That would be painful.
It was put you on the floor pain.
Wow.
And doctors took the x-rays, and they said there was nothing wrong with my knees, but they wanted to know what was with this object in my leg, and I had no idea where it came from. So we're here today x-raying it, and maybe we can get down to where this metal object came from.
Do you have any recollection in your childhood? Do you have anything what we would call missing time? In other words, did you ever see like a UFO, a ball of light? Were you knocked unconscious? Anything like that in your childhood?
Shorter type alien with the oval head and the big eyes, and that's all I remember, 3 of them. And I saw them in my bedroom, and of course you're frightened, you can't move. And actually I got up, and I was going to do a football tackle. And once I started to hit them, they disappeared. And that was my contact with, I believe, Greys or some kind of aliens. But living in Nevada for a number of years, I started getting involved with the UFOs and the test center and things. And things seemed like there might be something out there for sure.
Was it the second time you went into the football tackle and they vanished?
I believe that the football tackle was originally
That's the
first
first
contact, and then after that I felt like I was being raised straight up in the atmosphere, you want to call it, to a speed where I can feel nightgown being pulled.
And you were totally helpless at this point.
That's the only thing I remember being.
Total blackout.
After that, I just remember the sensation going, man, I'm really going up fast. I felt my clothes being
What
pulled
about
back.
when you awakened?
I just came back, woke up that morning, and then that's all I remember.
And did you ever tell anybody about this?
Well, you just don't think of UFO stuff as a child. As an adult, you start putting the pieces together and you go, oh my God, this is very suspicious. What was happening?
All right, let's see what we got. What did you see in this one?
Right there. Now this
Oh, yeah.
so this is the lateral, and this is closest.
I see it.
This would be closest
Okay.
to the X-ray.
Where are we looking? What are we looking at? So we're talking this circular object right in the middle?
Yep, right here.
So when we look at it and we peel that up, this one's really hard to see,
Yeah.
but I'll point it out to you. Give me just a second. Right there.
Huh.
This is it here.
Right there.
And this is pretty close to what we had before.
In the original X-ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder, Hans, if we could rotate this once more and get it a little farther over that way.
I don't know how far or close to the bone it is to be able to do that. I can give it a try.
Want to do it? Okay.
Give it a shot.
Are we up to being irradiated again?
Sure, I don't need a flashlight at night now.
You'll be the glowing person of the,
No more glow sticks.
right.
All right, so same deal. Just hold still. Just like that. So let's see how that works. It's pretty close to this anyway.
Wow.
But it's still rotated. But it's a little clearer now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like right up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, clip on there, I think.
So we're about to look at the results of the CAT scan then.
That's correct. CAT scan is essentially slices through a part. It's like taking a bologna and putting it in a meat slicer and just making slices. And so you're looking at each slice as you go farther down the line.
Wow.
This is the big bone in the leg, which is the tibia. This is the small bone in the leg, which is the fibula. And again, you can see that because of the size, this has been tremendously miniaturized. But by miniaturizing them, they can get, a lot of pictures on one sheet.
So the bottom line for us is we know that there's a metallic object in our patient,
Right.
for lack of a better words, knee.
And that we can tell from this that, again, the object is superficial, meaning close to the skin, and yet near a bone, which has the qualities of the other objects that we removed. This has nothing. I scratched it when I tried to mark it.
All right.
This is the object here, here, and
On top.
here.
Amazing.
This is a famous instrument called a stud finder.
Is that just picking up the density of the bone?
No, see?
Yeah.
That's it right there.
Right.
The same
Back
spot.
to the same spot, yeah.
Well, it takes off.
Same as the other leg. Now it's picking up in here. That's where
Yeah. What does that say?
It's like 6.
the 6 3/4, close to the 7.
Seven right there. See, if you just tip it, it goes down.
If you move it away from that spot, does it change?
Yeah, it's going
Yeah.
down.
Thank you.
Very interesting.
Right. It's, yeah, right here. That's about 9 milligauss. 10 milligauss. 10 milligauss right there. That's it. That's peaked at 10 milligauss. Well, here's a tiny object which is 6 millimeters in length, about the thickness of a pencil head, and it's putting out 7 milligauss. And here's a whole electronic camera that's putting out an
With a
excess
battery
of
that's
10.
fully charged.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting.
Crazy.
So now we just put the antenna close to the area of the object.
So this object is giving off
strictly
that
a radio wave in the FM band. Let's hold it right about there. That's an average number. It's reading 333.38604 gigahertz. Well, I did one episode with X-Files where I was a consultant behind the scenes, and it had to do with an abductee, and someone was taken and implanted, and I gave them, the correct information which they used. In this episode of X-Files, it was pretty much the real thing.
I try to relieve, and we call it the PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, symptoms, which everyone will experience after a traumatic event. I also work with people who've had terrible accidents, car accidents and so forth, or someone who's been raped, or someone who's been sexually abused. They all suffer from these PTSD symptoms. Well, alien abduction is no different.
You don't remember any event specifically that created that? But hitting something with a sledgehammer or anything like that?
No. When you have no scar.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it yourself?
No. In the sub-Q fat anterior medial aspect of the upper shin, about 8.5 centimeters inferior to the tibial plateau.
8.5 centimeters.
0.2 centimeters anterior to the tibial cortex. 1.5 centimeters deep to the skin.
Well, let's see if I can
That's
find
about it.
it. I don't know. We might find it. Let's take a look here. What I'm going to do is kill the one light, yeah, so we can see it better. A little, this is just a little lubricant, won't hurt you.
It does show up with the stud finder. It points right to
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be valuable. Yeah, that shows up nice. It's funny, things that are right next to the skin are hard to find than if they're deep sometimes because the skin moves and you're chasing, maybe that's it there.
I thought we were able to feel
That
it.
might be it. Yeah.
Right there.
Right.
Right there.
Yeah.
That does look like it,
Yeah.
actually. That helps.
Yeah.
What's the black area underneath it? What is that?
That's the shadow effect.
Interesting.
Right there. See? Yeah.
This
I bet
is sound waves, and sound
I bet
waves
that's
hits
it.
it and has a shadow effect afterwards.
That's
That's definitely a discrete entity that's in that area. So we can find it with this, so we don't need to
Yeah.
have X-ray.
Remember the one that we did where the guy had was I think in the arm and he had pain in the shoulder, and after you removed it, the pain in the shoulder went bye bye.
I mean, there are a lot of things. I don't know about the nerve things around it unless it hits a nerve. I mean, maybe there is some growth, but I didn't know that. He knows more about that than I do. He's looking at these things afterwards with a microscope. I'm just taking them out.
With the pre-op tests over and the implant found, 2 weeks went by as preparations commenced for the actual surgery. Both doctors were there again, and Dr. Lear brought his special test equipment. Guests came to view this important procedure in a private room with an HD TV. Everyone thought the surgery would be uneventful. The implant was only a little ways under the skin, and there was exhaustive documentation on its location. Even though that was true, Steve Colburn decided to start by doing another ultraviolet light test to look for any unusual marks on the skin in the area of the proposed incision.
Which leg has the implant?
This one.
That one?
Is it near here by the chance?
Right in here, right?
Yeah, in his upper shin.
Just because you find fluorescence doesn't mean that it's that unusual.
On the last patient, Ron Noel, we found a large alien symbol on his upper arm. And
Shivered.
yeah, that was very spectacular. He couldn't even scrub it off after repeated attempts in the shower.
Then a strange thing happened. None of the external test devices worked properly, or at least like they did before in Dr. Lear's offices. The stud finder went off constantly, anywhere it was placed on Bill's leg.
You gotta get it just at the right angle.
Is the button pushed?
Yeah, I'm pushing it.
The Gauss meter, which last time read 7 milligauss, this time read 0 no matter where it was placed.
That's one that reads the radio waves?
Magnetism.
Magnitude.
We were able to see it with ultrasound last time.
Yeah.
It wasn't hard. I
It
mean,
looks like it's going vertical when you see it on
so
the ultrasound.
this is the ultrasound goo, so I'm going to go straight up and down on this.
Now, you're not going to see anything, a bright spot like you do in the X-ray. You'll see actually a dark place because it's a reversed image. Here.
Even the ultrasound machine no longer could find the object, though Dr. Matriciano found it in a minute or less on the same machine during the pre-op test.
Right leg, right there. That's higher. I wasn't feeling it before.
What if you go just directly up the anterior surface of the tibia?
About an hour had passed in the operating theater, and Dr. Matriciana had gone over this little 3 by 8 inch strip of flesh on Bill's leg to no avail. Couldn't find anything. And Stephen Colburn then suggests, well, maybe they took it.
It was moved, they took it out, or it's just not
No, we've had, it'll be there. We just
We've seen this pure up X-ray before, so ultrasound
Yeah.
The same ultrasound machine that we're using, the same procedure, same frequency, and we can't find the object.
So it ran it.
No, we don't. No, that's way too premature. I have no idea, but he can't go in and operate unless he knows where it is. This might sound a little weird, but I'm going to pray, and I'm going to do it now, which went something like this. Father, if there are forces which are cloaking this object, I pray that you would break that and do it soon. About 2 minutes go by, and all of a sudden there's the object showing up on the ultrasound.
Oh, there's a big shadow from something. The heck is that?
You know, where did the thing come from?
Yeah, that's a good sized shadow.
The moment wasn't lost on anyone in the room. It's kind of in the area, too.
I'll make sure I can get it every time.
Yeah, there it is.
Warning, the following scenes show an actual surgical procedure. Viewer discretion is advised.
There you go.
Okay, we're just about right. We'll find it again now. God, why did it take so long? No, we're doing things right. Just hang out a little bit of an ouch, okay?
We're going to draw the patient's blood, and then we put it in a centrifuge and spin it down and separate the cellular portion of the blood from the liquid. And then that cellular portion is then mixed with anticoagulant preservative, and that's what we actually use to put the object in. Rick, can you grab my glasses?
You want them off?
Yeah. I hate to
He
see
doesn't want to see anything.
I can't stand the sight of blood.
He's moving a little bit. It does hurt. Sorry. I give it pretty slow. One of the problems of giving local anesthesia is that it obliterates the ultrasound findings. So we get a little numb here.
And the shot hurts quite a bit.
The choice we have.
Especially
The choice we have.
Wake you up.
Yeah. So much for
That was an ouch, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't think we'll have any more ouch. I think that's it. Is there enough light for you guys? I can see fine. Does that hurt?
No, I don't feel a thing.
That's my little incision. We spread it a little bit. The question is it next to the skin or is it next to the fascia? I think it's close to both.
Probably. Oh, I think it said it was subcutaneous, so probably between the skin and the fascia.
I'm going to use a little metal thing. See if I can feel it click. No. Sometimes you can find it just by a little click. Barry, you wouldn't mind holding this one up. We'll look up top first. Got a little bit of connective tissue on this side and this side. It's not increasing the size of the incision, it just makes us use what we have. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Is that it?
it could be.
Just looks like
Here it is.
Yeah,
Here it comes.
Could be.
It may be.
Wow.
It's a
Yeah.
girl.
Ah, here we go. Yeah. It ain't very big.
This didn't jump out.
Here it comes. Here we got it. Can you see it? Right there, a little black spot?
Yeah, let me get real close.
In position, what we call in situ.
Yeah, see if you can
Oh,
get
that's it.
some of
Wow.
the tissue around it.
So,
You got it, Rick?
yeah, can you see it? Little spot there?
Oh, yeah, there it
Little
is.
black spot.
Yep.
Right there.
That is it. That was a little bigger than that, see? So we'll get some of the surrounding tissue around it.
No wonder it was so invisible on ultrasound.
It wasn't very big.
Wow.
So that is the entire thing right there.
Where are you gonna put it?
Right there, we'll shine a light around a little better. You can see it.
Yeah,
There it
that's
is.
the shape.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's
Wow.
That's pretty typical.
Wait, guys, look. You can't see
That's
my mom.
similar to
You can
the.
feel it. It feels like
Yeah.
it's pretty softer than I thought it
The
would
gray
be.
membrane.
Yeah, it's softer than I thought it would
See
be.
all right?
Here, I'll show it to you.
The implant was finally out. It was Dr. Lear's 17th implant removal surgery. As Dr. Matriciano closed the wound, Steve Colburn commented,
Yeah, we've seen this type several times before. Roger's removed probably 7 of these from patients, so maybe 40–50% are of this general cylindrical type with the gray membrane surrounding them.
it's back to CO Labs in Los Angeles, this time with a new piece of possible alien evidence. What was this thing that was removed from Bill's leg? What was it made of? Steve's first job is to remove the typical coating from around the implant that has been documented on all the other cases. The object is pulled out and will be placed inside the electron microscope. The surrounding tissue will be sent to another lab for testing.
Oh, there we go. Look at those. Those might be some bundles right there, some very large bundles at the end. That's an awesome shot right there.
When we see a large amount of iron in the object, and we know enough now to look at comparing the iron to what we find before, we have to do other testing to find out whether that's iron, maybe meteoric iron.
I see. And in the other samples, it was meteoric.
Yeah.
Roger, how does this compare so far with the other ones that you've taken out? This is number 17, so you've got quite a collection, 16, and you're really the only person on the planet that has done this research and actually spent your own time, your money, your expertise, and here you are, number 17. So, how do you compare this number 17 to, let's say, some of the earlier ones?
It's a never-ending education process because whenever you think you may have an answer, you really wind up with more questions. But comparatively speaking, when you find things from different individuals that you surgically remove that fill certain criteria, and that criteria is met over and over and over and over again, then you got to believe at least that there's some similarity in the object.
Folks, what you've just seen in this film, what you've just seen from a clip from Best of Watchers, and I would ask that you'd go and download all of it, because what's in the Best of Watchers is just incredible. Streaming.lamarzulli.net, streaming.lamarzulli.net. But what you see there, in my opinion, are the prototypes of the mark. There's no entry wound with these things. We could not find an entry wound. Dr. Lear took out 17. But what happened, and you saw it in the film, what happened in that theater, that operating theater, was high strangeness. We could not find the implant. How is that? They knew what we were up to. They cloaked the device. One prayer changed all that, broke their power, because greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Not making this stuff up. We're the only team that's ever done that, only Christian team that's ever done that. UFOs are real, burgeoning, and not going away. With all the saber rattling that we're seeing with Putin talking about the use of nukes, the late David Flynn believed that there would be some sort of a nuclear event and then they would show up. All I know is that things are heating up faster than I ever thought they would. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, we'll see you on the air or in the air.
My name is Alan Matthews. I've seen a UFO.
I've seen a UFO.
And I saw a UFO.
A UFO.